tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, the Caitlin Clark stimulus package is already paying dividends for WNBA players around the league. They cannot sign their contracts yet. The new CBA has to be ratified, but the Las Vegas Aces are the first ones to fire a shot. A team owned by Mark Davis, who owns the Las Vegas Raiders. Also, Tom Brady is a minority.
The $1.4 million contract news has just hit the league, and the impact is still being felt across every front office. Aja Wilson is now officially the first Supermax player, but the discussion isn't just about her performance. It's about where this money is really coming from. Some believe she fully earned this historic deal, while others point to the Caitlin Clark effect as the main reason this level of money has entered the league. The silence from longtime voices in the league is noticeable as this new business. Reality begins to settle in. This isn't just a pay increase, it's a major shift in the story that has shaped women's basketball for years. Careers are evolving quickly, and the tension is higher than ever.
Journal is now reporting it. She ought to give like 30% of this to Caitlin Clark. I'm just keeping it real. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and it was like the old fandom is mad that Caitlin Clark won the MVP for USA Basketball. And I was like, do they not really get that the new fandom sort of outnumbers the old fandom like 4-1? They're in the minority. They're 400,000 fans before 2 years ago knew who Aja Wilson was. All right. A lot more fans now know who this player is. I'm just keeping it real. I know that'll make some people.
The Las Vegas Aces are no longer just focused on playing basketball. They are making major business decisions that could shape the future of the league. Owned by Mark Davis and backed by minority owner Tom Brady, the team is clearly showing that the old system is changing. By signing Aja Wilson as the first Supermax player, they are signaling that Las Vegas is becoming a key hub for women's professional sports. This move wasn't shocking to insiders, but the size of the deal has sent a strong message to other WNBA owners. If teams want to keep their top players, they will have to spend much more than before.
Who Aja Wilson was. All right. A lot more fans now know who this player is. I'm just keeping it real. I know that'll make some people mad. I don't care. Truth hurts sometimes. Las Vegas Aces star Aja Wilson is expected to re-sign on the historic new WNBA Supermax salary of $1.4 million as soon as possible. Sources told the Review Journal on Wednesday. The news comes after 8 days of marathon negotiations in New York, culminating earlier Wednesday in a handshake deal.
To fully understand this massive deal, you have to look at the numbers behind it. Many people are calling it the Caitlin Clark effect, and the signs are hard to ignore. Before she joined the league, it was struggling to gain attention and grow. Now, there is a $2.2 billion media rights deal helping support these new contracts for top players. It's an interesting situation where the same player who brought major attention to the league is now seen as a big reason behind the largest financial growth in its history, even benefiting her rivals.
9-year-old has taken team-friendly deals to aid the Aces in constructing winning teams. That process was difficult under the salary cap set by the previous CBA, which will increase from $1.5 million to starting at $7 million under the new deal. Wilson, who signed a 2-year extension in 2023, worth $200,000 per year, was not even in the top 25 highest paid players last season. That list included her teammate Jewel Lloyd, who made the 2025 Supermax.
There is a growing belief among analysts that Aja Wilson should be thanking Indiana right now. Some critics even go as far as saying she should give part of her salary to Clark. It may sound extreme, but when you look at how viewership increased after Clark entered the league, it's hard to ignore. The reality is that this kind of revenue didn't exist just a few years ago. The new flow of money is clearly connected to the league's rising popularity and expanding reach.
Title, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in one season. She also joined NBA legend Bill Russell as the only other player to win 3 MVPs and 3 championships in 4 seasons. Well, she didn't join him because they're 2 separate leagues. I mean, the NBA is its own deal. What are we doing? I mean, come on. Let's keep it real here. Aces coach, Becky Hammon, who made $25,000 in her rookie contract as a WNBA player, became the league's first $1 million coach in 2022. The Aces will make Wilson $1 million.
The older group of WNBA fans is reportedly frustrated, and they are not hiding it. There is a clear gap between longtime supporters and the millions of new viewers coming in. Longtime fans feel like their space is being taken over by people who don't value the history of the game. But in reality, these new fans are driving the revenue and demand behind these large contracts. It's a situation where a smaller group is trying to control something that has now grown on a global level, and this tension is creating a difficult esports environment.
The WNBA player became the league's first $1 million coach in 2022. The Aces will make Wilson $1 million player to show appreciation for sacrifices she's made to ensure the team's success, sources said. You may be wondering why Becky Hammon was making that kind of money, or is. It's because you had NBA teams, I kid you not, that was ready to hire her as a head coach in the NBA. So they had to pay up. Mark Davis had to pay up to get her in there. Although sources indicated that teams were attempting to maneuver them.
6U Aja Wilson has also openly talked about marketability and race in the league. She previously stated that black women do not receive the same level of opportunity as others. Now, with more attention on women's sports than ever before, she is earning a salary that once seemed impossible. Critics highlight the contrast between her earlier statements and her current position as the highest paid player in the league. It shows how closely business and social discussions are now connected.
Caused all kind of trouble when Caitlin Clark showed up in the league. Oh, race. We're not marketable because we're black women. Blah, 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 blah. Anybody remember that fiasco? By the way, that she's doubled down on again? You benefited from the biggest women's sports player in the world walking into your league. You got a $2.2 billion media rights deal. And now because of that player that everybody knows you blatantly cannot stand.
For years, Aja performed at an elite level while earning far less than expected for her talent. She was making around $200,000 per year while leading the league in major categories. At one point, she wasn't even among the top 25 highest paid players, which is surprising for a multi-time MVP. She often took smaller deals to help keep her team competitive, essentially giving up her own earnings for team success. That period has now come to an end as new agreements have changed the financial structure of the league.
Get you a nice little, over $1 million raise. You sure you shouldn't shave off about 30% of that? Send it over to Indiana this season? I'm just throwing it out there. I know Asia fans will be furious. I don't care. I speak the truth on this channel. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm on live streams during games. And every time Asia Wilson's commercial comes on and everybody's dancing on it, the whole live stream is like, ugh.
Everything shifted behind the scenes during a series of intense negotiations in New York City. After 8 days of long meetings, both sides reached a handshake agreement that completely changed the league's old salary structure. The team salary cap rose from about $1.5 million to nearly $7 million under the new deal. This kind of growth is very rare in professional sports. It happened quickly because players realized their value had gone up. The players' union stayed firm, understanding that new media money gave them the power to secure better financial futures. You also can't talk about the Aces' big spending without mentioning head coach Becky Hammon. She became the league's first $1 million coach after attracting serious interest from several NBA teams. Mark Davis knew he had to pay more to keep her in Las Vegas, and now he is using the same strategy with his star player. This built a culture where people are paid what they truly deserve, starting from the top. The Aces have made it clear that winning requires strong investment, and they are ready to lead regardless of what others think. A'ja Wilson has always played for the team first, but her time of taking less money is now over. Sources close to the team say the Aces wanted to reward her for years of sacrifice that helped the franchise succeed. She is a 3-time champion and a 4-time MVP, yet she spent years watching others earn more while doing the heavy work. The team knew that if they didn't make her a $1 million player quickly, they could lose the face of their franchise. To other teams willing to pay big, critics and rival fans are already pointing at referees, suggesting star players receive favorable calls. Some fans are even questioning how much that helps her dominance. This adds more attention to the contract, especially when compared to the tough treatment rookies like Clark received. The idea that some players are protected while others are targeted continues to fuel debate online. This deal has only increased the pressure on her. The conversation around marketability is also getting more intense as the money grows. Her supporters say her performance alone is enough to justify everything. Others look at her national ads and question if those chances would exist without the recent rise in WNBA popularity. Every time she appears in a major commercial, it creates more debate between old fans and new viewers. The question of who is really driving the league's popularity remains one of the biggest discussions. Looking at the stats, Wilson's career is already among the greatest in basketball history. She became the first player to win the scoring title, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in one season. She is often compared to legends like Bill Russell, though some believe that comparison is not fair due to differences between leagues. Still, her dominance is clear, making her the top player in today's WNBA. Despite rumors that other teams were preparing big offers, Wilson stayed loyal to Las Vegas. She has openly said she loves the city and would only leave if the team decided to move her. That kind of loyalty is rare in modern sports, where players often change teams for bigger deals. That is why fans strongly support her and why the organization felt pressure to make her the highest paid player. The discussion around race continues to follow the league's growth and sometimes overshadows on-court performance. Wilson has stayed firm on her views about how black players are treated, while critics argue she is benefiting from the same attention she once questioned. This creates a complex mix of social issues, identity, and business reality, all coming together with this contract. The main question now is whether $1.4 million is enough or too much for the current market. In the NBA, that amount is close to a minimum salary, but in the WNBA, it represents a major step forward. It sets a new standard that could force other teams to spend more or risk losing their best players. The pressure is now on every team to keep up with rising talent costs, or they may fall behind as competition increases.